Then, with the second movie we watched, because Hercules wanted to watch it, was Toy Story 4, and that's a fucking nightmare. Toy Story 4 is a nightmare, guys. It's a horror story. It's horrible. It's terrifying. It's creepy. And it's fundamentally perverse and wrong on many levels. I was quite shocked. Have any of you seen Toy Story 4? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? I know I'm not tripping because I know I'm right. Axel Stack says, I agree, and I thought Toy Story 3 was also a horror show. Toy Story 3 was awful as well, but this was worse. This was worse, right? Because here's one thing. At least in Toy Story 3, the villain was the villain, right? In Toy Story 4, the heroes basically adopt the credo of the villain in Toy Story 3 by the end of it. There's a villain. It's a very strange situation. There's a villain in Toy Story 4, right? So there's an antique store, and it's got these old toys in it. You know, the old creepy toys with that look like ventriloquist dummies with the removable chin and all that? They all look like Jimmy Carr, that British comedian, you know? There's a bunch of them, and it's truly horrifying. They're really evil looking. You know, they're doing jump scares. They're using all these, like, old sort of Hammer horror tricks for it to be really actually creepy and terrifying. There's a little child's doll, a little girl. She's completely Stanley Kubrick type situations, type vibes. Hercules is genuinely scared, you know, like, And she basically wants to trick and trap Woody and harvest his organs for herself, right? She's got a voice box in her and it doesn't work very well. So she wants a working voice box because he's got one. Now she's not like, oh, could I borrow it or whatever. She's just like, she's gonna kidnap him, trick him, kidnap him, and have her evil minions forcibly tear out his insides, harvest his organs, and use them for herself. And then ends up being kind of like a hero. And she never makes up for any of that. She never says, oh, that was the wrong thing to do. She never has a change of anything. She just reveals that she's sad because she wants a child of her very own. To have a child, you know, her own child. They all want their own child. That's all a bit weird. There's something off with that. Anyway, so it goes from her being an obvious villain, obviously evil, to then suddenly saying, oh, but because she just wants the love of a child, it's okay. Everything she just did is okay. All that terrorizing, creepy, Jimmy Carr, henchman, evil shit, that's all justified because, oh, little Diddums, she just wants to be loved. And so the moral of the story in that is that, like, doesn't matter what fucked up evil shit you do, so long as you think it's the right thing to do, so long as you got a reason, it's okay. That's really weird. And then Woody basically just gives up. His whole thing was supposed to be, you know, a toy's job is to be there for the child. He's got a child, and he abandons that child to go off with Bo Peep and just, like, you know, follow his whimsical dream or whatever. Ooh, but go be with Bo Peep, who's basically like Brie Larson. Bo Peep's turned into Brie Larson. She's running around kicking people and making jokes about how men are rubbish and stuff. And I don't need no man. And look how crappy Woody is. Ha ha ha. Lol at Woody. Like, there's so much wrong with that film. It's so weird. The other thing with Toy Story is it's becoming a bit Watchmen. It's becoming a bit like, oh, what if this was really, really real? So what if these toys were really, really real? What does that mean? Why are they toys? Why are they alive? They ask themselves that. It becomes very creepy. There's a spork who, like, becomes alive because he's now a toy, and he wants to be. He's like, but I'm supposed to be trash. He keeps trying to jump in the bin, and then by the end of it, he's like, oh, why are we alive? I don't know. Ooh, shut up, shut up. This isn't Deadpool. Like, there's so much wrong with that film. It's so weird. It doesn't feel like a Pixar film. And then you go look up and you go, oh, guess why? Because it's not a Pixar film. Because they yeeted the guy who invented Pixar. The guy who was the heart and soul of Pixar, they yeeted him, didn't they? They hit him with some BS Me Too shit. Remember a couple years ago? They said last year? I mean, time is so weird now. He got kicked out of Pixar. He had to leave because apparently he was giving unwanted hugs. This isn't some Jeffrey Epstein situation where, like, he'd done some messed up shit. It's literally that they got someone to complain that he hugged them in the office and they felt it was inappropriate for him to hug them. And so he got booted out of the company, and the whole time the higher-ups at Disney had been trying to get him to incorporate edgier material into the Pixar movies, and he'd refused. right? He didn't want any of that stuff in there. He was trying to make beautiful, pure, archetypical, wholesome stuff, you know? Archetypal. I always get confused with those two. And they got rid of him. They used that Me Too stuff to get rid of that guy, and now Pixar is trash. It's sad, man. It's sad, but that's what it is. They had a good run. They had 20 years. You know, they put some great stuff out into the world, but like that thing is over, and Pixar is now trash. And like, it used to be that Pixar, that was like a mark of a must see. That meant shit is gonna be real. Now it just means whatever. It's just the same as everything else. Don't mean nothing anymore, baby. Was that an uncharacteristically dark note on the meaning stream?